So this is Des Moines. This is obviously like the pinnacle of the line you're going down. Krazib. So in this ship, what we have is a fantastic rate of fire. We've got something as well called super heavy AP for cruiser. Sorry, what's it called? Super heavy AP for US cruisers. What does that mean? We've got improved penetration angles, and we've actually got some really good damage as well. So I want to be shooting a lot of AP at broadsides of stuff as much as I can. Whether it be battleships, whether it be cruisers, I want to be shooting those broadsides and trying to do as much damage as I possibly can. Because AP damage, it's harder to heal back. If you have stuff like destroyers, for example, though, or something's like completely angled and you're not able to do much damage to it, I'll switch to HE. And then I'll be trying to burn my opponents down and cause them to stay spotted, because obviously when you're on fire, your detection extends out by a further 2 kilometers, and obviously they're taking damage as well. So that's how I would recommend it. There's a lot of these cruisers are more than fine with is positioning. Positioning is tricky. Positioning is difficult in this. What is this? What do we got? Yorktown Hornet. Hornet's just lost all his planes to these Yorktown fighters. Well, he's got the interceptor skill there, actually. One thing is knowing when you're too aggressive and when you're not too aggressive. So, for example, I would say, I'm pushing forward to this island here. Is that going to be too aggressive? Quite possibly. Especially if I get spotted by these planes here, I could get farmed in by battleships. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look to position myself away like this. Aha. First target, Salem. I've got to watch out for Des Moines because he can absolutely punish me. Let's look at the Salem. We're just going to shoot a lot of HE. And we're going to continue looking to kite away. Kiting is a very, very effective strategy for cruisers. And it's something you should definitely be considering. I don't want to be getting close to this Yamato. Now this Salem is starting to give me a bit of broadside. So we're going to just switch the AP. Notice this Yamato is not shooting me, so it means I can kind of play this game a little bit safer, and I can just sit here-ish and just try and do as much damage as I can. So you can see we've got a couple of good pens already, which is nice. Now, something is smoking the Salem. I don't think it's the Yorktown, which probably means there's either Groningen or Shimakaze over here. Looking at the map, we can see Groningen's on the other flank, which means we've got the Shimakaze over here. I'm going to pop my Hydro, because I don't want to get smashed by enemy destroyer torpedoes. Shimakaze will hurt. It's got 15 torpedoes. They are nasty. They're long lances. They will absolutely demolish you. My radar extends out to 10 kilometers. I'm going to try and get into a somewhat decent position. Now, I can see the Salem is here. I want to be able to hit him. I notice the island indicator is here, which means at the moment I can't quite hit him. So I'm just going to keep reversing until hopefully I'm able to. Yamato is still shooting, which is fine. Unfortunately, this dude is not wanting to play ball with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to veer and turn off into this island. Enemy carrier is kind of focusing. Or maybe I don't want to push in. What I would like to be able to do is farm this Yamato. I've got to be careful though. So let's go have a look for the Salem, shall we? So there's the Shimakaze. As soon as I saw the Shimakaze, instant switch to HE because I know I'm going to be able to do more damage to him because my AP is just not going to arm. That's one of the things, your AP has certain penetration thresholds. Most of the time, AP won't arm on destroyers. There's some select destroyers that it will. Yamato's a bit too angled for my liking, so I'm just going to try and burn him down. Let's fire the rear turret. Get one fire. Middle of the superstructure, best place. Start shooting. Most captains, if they're if they know what they're doing, they'll have picked a couple of skills, which means they're only able to get fires on 3 locations on their ship. You just have to pay attention to that. If you can see a fire in the middle here, it means that they've got the skill. If it's split into full corners, then you know they don't have the skill, and you can set up to 4 fires on a ship. This might hurt here because I'm showing it abroad. Didn't. So alright. And you can see we've got another fire. It's still ticking at the moment, and now that it's stopped ticking, it means he's actually popped his damage control. which is awesome. Because it means if I get another fire on him, it's going to be a permanent fire. What do I mean by permanent fire? It means a fire he can't actually immediately extinguish using damage control. So whenever I say, oh, he's on perma-fire, that just means he can't actually put the fire out, and it's going to burn for its full duration. I'm going to pop my radar here. Enemy destroyer, he's on low HP. I want to finish that off as best as I can. And there we go, first blood. Now, I can see the Salem is kind of turning a bit. Even if I don't get a chance to shoot him properly to deal massive damage, I'm going to shoot AP at the side of this Yamato. Now, I know we got him on perma-fire before. However, he's showing a lot of broadside to me. So we're going to just, like, use and abuse this. See the full pens? 6k damage a salvo. Another 6k. Huge damage. Awesome stuff. And that's damage that's harder for him to heal back. So when stuff you're playing ships like these US heavy cruisers, you want to be going for the AP as much as you can. Now another funny trick you can do is when you're versing, say, bow-in targets with US heavy cruisers is, well, destroying their turrets. No worry, geezer. Happy to always be doing this. The rate of fire is insane, and this is one of the most hilarious things about, say, the Des Moines, is the fact that you're just able to pump out so much damage. It's one of the main attractions to this ship, and it's one thing that's remained pretty much untouched for all these years. Whoop. So this Yamato is giving a lot of broadside. This could hurt here because you can overmatch. We're just going to keep shooting AP. We want to be able to do as much damage as we can here. He's fired AP. Watch my health disappear if he doesn't screw this up. There we go. I don't think that was a Citadel, that was just raw pens, but that was just the power of overmatch there. Now we want to be able to keep doing as much AP as we can here. And you can see this damage, it stacks up so quick with this ship. It's ridiculous. As long as you know where to aim, literally, in a case like this, you're not aiming for Citadels. Why? Because I can't penetrate that. It's just too thick for me. Like, it's a Yamato. It's got some stupid thick belt armor. You're not going to be able to penetrate that with my AP. So I'm just aiming for the full pens on the side there, on the slightly higher up, okay? Now I'm going to look for the Salem. I'm hoping the Salem is going to give me broadside. He's giving me broadside. So we're going to aim for the Citadels here. We're going to angle in so it doesn't have as much chance to do it to us. There we go, 4 Citadels. It's 2k HP. And yes, whilst he does have a super heal, quote unquote, he's not going to be able to heal back this damage. It's just ridiculous how quickly we can do this. And dead. Thank you there for the follow there. Nothing is not taken. Ah, cheers, man. Appreciate it. And we're going to just try and dodge this Yorktown. Now, Yorktown is spotted here. We're going to have to try and dodge these carrier planes as best we can. So we want to pop our button here to just try and reinforce this. We just want to try and dodge this. We're not going to be able to dodge it completely. It's going to hurt. North Carolina's shooting us. We need to just try and live as best we can. At the moment, I am mashing the T key. This is not methodical. This is just me just spamming. So we're just going to spam that, just try and get a heal back up. Always whenever you see a carrier is approaching you, just try and press, it's either your tilde or your O key. I prefer tilde just because it's easier for me to do so, but you want to try and reinforce this. Turn into carrier torpedoes. Why? Because we want to try and minimize the damage of taking torpedoes here. Unfortunately, the drop for him was good. And it does catch us on the bow. Why don't I like it catching on the bow? Because of the fact that normally if it's on bow or stern, it's a much higher percentage chance of actually causing flooding on your ship. I'm going to slow down here, dodge this torpedo. We're going to accelerate, come around here and try and nail him now. But if you're trying to like minimize your torpedo damage, whether it be from destroyers, like enemy cruisers, hell, or even like in this case, say carriers, what you want to be doing is trying to aim for your belt armor, particularly if you're on a battleship. In a cruiser, it doesn't really matter too much. In a destroyer, like, you don't have like any torque protection at all because the ships are so thin. There's just not enough space to put a torpedo protection on. You'll eat full damage anyways, but if you're doing it in a battleship or something, you just want to do your best to minimize how much damage you take. And if you hit it on your torpedo belts, well, that's the best way of minimizing damage, right? Because it has a built-in damage reduction. Stuff on the Yamato, which can get really quite high, that goes up to like 50%, 57%, I believe it is. The damage stacks up really quite high. The damage mitigation, I should say. Gonna aim for the gap here for the torpedoes. Just gonna use free cam. And now we're just gonna farm. Now you can see here, I'm probably gonna eat at least 1 or 2 of these torpedoes. I don't really care, I just want to kill. I should have slowed down there more. I didn't. That's my fault. That's my fault, but I was just getting greedy because I wanted the damage there. And let's see if we can keep turning. And because of the fact we kept turning, we dodged planes. No! No! Was 1 plane off. 1 plane off getting AA defense expert. But that's like... I guess that's kind of the basics of some cruiser gameplay there. You saw how I dealt with the enemy Shimikaze at the start. Found myself a decent position. Like, whilst I was working out, I was just like, hey, is it safe for me to go aggressive here or not? And we just waited a little bit just to see A, what the friendly team was doing, B, what the enemy team was doing. When we worked out it was safe enough, we pushed up to that island. We managed to radar, we managed to find that enemy destroyer. Once we found that enemy destroyer, we took him out of the game quite quickly. And that was obviously thanks to the friendly team for putting him down to about 2k hit points. Des Moines Rate of Fire easily finished it off. Then afterwards we found ahead, went ahead and we actually found the enemy Yamato, went ahead, dealt a fair bit of damage to him. Set him on double fire, forced him to back off a bit. We pushed forward, we had some broadsides, we took the AP, we dealt huge damage to him. Once he went down, we just went hella aggressive, we just went ahead and killed the Salem, and you saw that. And that's the thing when it comes to World of Warships, I think, Krazib, is the fact that you gotta take it slow. If you push yourself, you can go fast. You can go fast and aggressive, and that is definitely a fun way of doing it. If you go too fast, though, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble, and that's something I struggle myself with, is I go too aggressive. So, okay. First of all, Arsenal Giza, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. And nothing is not taken. My damage record at the moment is 279,000 damage. I would like to be able to crack 300k. So I've been trying this past few days to actually crack that number. I unfortunately have not quite gotten there. It is tricky doing this on the Asia server, but I'm giving it my damn shot. Giving it a damn good go. What the hell have we just been pinged about? You know what? I'll take this segment that I've just spoken all about here, fellas, and what I'm going to do is I'll actually turn this into a YouTube video. I'll download this, and I'll put this up onto YouTube. So if you do want to like go back through some of what I was talking about, what I was thinking here, you can at least go back through. It's 2:15 in the morning. Fuck it, let's just keep on. I was going to give up a while ago, but whatever. Let's go through. Skills on a cruiser. So we're talking about your Baltimore here in this situation. Let's take a look at our Des Moines. Now, these skills are going to change from ship to ship. So for example, this is my Des Moines captain. My Zao build is different. Actually, Petra is fairly similar. Nevsky is fairly similar. I'll choose one that's like completely different. My Colbert is completely different as well. I am in Australia, that is correct. San Martin, kind of similar. Like, it's going to depend on your cruiser. Like, my Brisbane here, for example, that's also completely different as well. But for Des Moines, let's just talk Des Moines at the moment. How would I build this ship? Now, if you're not as confident as I am as wanting to say, as to work out when enemy ships are shooting you. Oh, outskirts of Perth, very nice, man. Oh, appreciate the follow, you legend. Yeah, no, I'm all the way over here in bloody Queensland, man. Unfortunately for me, the fucking aircon is broken this week, and it's stinking hot at the moment, so it's fun times. But anyways, what I would recommend, and actually, can we get ship builder? We're gonna have some fun with this. So let's go ahead here. We're gonna change things around. Screen one. This is my ship builder. It's a fantastic tool, and let's just take a look at some of this stuff. Last weekend, yeah, it's just nuts at the moment, and like the bloody humidity is just fucking awful at the moment as well. So if we have a look here, let's talk. Let's go for our Des Moines. All right. There's a lot of stats and stuff you can see here. I'm just going to choose this to hydro, and I'm just going to choose my modules. When I build modules, it's going to be fairly standard. There's some ships I'll do exceptions on, but for, say, a US heavy cruiser, what I would recommend is you follow this. Main armaments mod 1. Okimu, I'm sorry if I've just butchered that. Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. This is a coal module. If you don't have access to surveillance radar mod 1, I would recommend just taking something like damage control system mod 1. That's fine, in my opinion. After that, you will go here, you will take dispersion, 100%, you go dispersion. It's 7% better accuracy. I mean, why wouldn't you take that, especially in something like this? You go propulsion mod, because that helps me to dodge damage just that touch easier. 99% of the ships in the game, you're going to be picking concealment system mod 1 when you get to slot 5 upgrades, okay? If you have it, you take concealment slot. There's some ships I won't, because I'm trying to do something particular. For example, my Colbert, I'm not taking concealment, I'm taking steering gears. What the fuck am I doing? Trust me, you do that with this ship, and that's a very unique situation. Most ships you'll be picking concealment here. Now, there's a few options when it comes to slot 6 here. I used to run reload, and reload's definitely a nice one. You could even run range if you want to as well, just to make it a bit easier, hit targets a bit further out. I'm using the legendary mod because it is hilarious. It helps me significantly with my acceleration, and that's what I'm running at the moment. If you're playing anything on the Buffalo or the Baltimore, Buffalo, I would just recommend taking like reload, and then Baltimore, unfortunately, you don't have access to slot 6 just yet. You get that at tiers 9 and 10. Now, anyways, the stuff I want to talk about now is our captain's builds. So we're going to be talking about for the Des Moines here. I appreciate you can't really see this because of thing in the way, but this is for the Des Moines. How would we build this? Now, just say we have a standard captain. Doesn't matter. This is what we would do. Because of the fact you are going to be switching between ammunition between HE and AP a lot with this ship, you're going to take gun feeder. And that helps reduce your reload when you're switching between the ammunition types. So as you saw there, when I had a couple of situations there, I was like, hey, I want to switch to my HE or I want to switch to my AP. I double tap the switch ammunition and it gives you 40% faster reload. Like, you might as well when switching your shells. I personally go with the consumables enhancements here to have extra time on my hydro and my radar. If you're not comfortable and you're still wanting to have an idea how many people are actually shooting at you, for example, I'd say take priority target here, and that will tell you, it'll come up as a little number in the top corner of your screen. It will tell you literally, hey, you've got this many people looking at you right now and probably going to shoot you. That can be very, very useful. I do run it myself on some ships. Des Moines, I feel confident enough that I don't need it, but if you still want that information, I think it's very useful. Next one after that comes a bit of an option here. I personally go for Adrenaline Rush first, because anytime you take any damage in your ship, you're going to get a faster reload, which is awesome. So the more damage you take, faster you reload, a bit more damage you can output. And then finally, the last one here definitely is going to be Concealment Expert. You just want to stay stealthy for longer, right? After that, I would probably go back and get something like Superintendent, and that gives you an extra set of consumables. So if I go back to my Des Moines, it gives me an extra heal, gives me an extra radar, gives me an extra hydro. All are very, very useful tools because this is a very utilitarian-based ship. You have a lot of utility. Fantastic to have more of each of those consumables. After that, you come an option. You can either save up the next 4 points here and go for top grade gunner, which is a fantastic skill because the closer you are to an enemy, so as soon as someone's within your standard detection range, so in my case here, if I'm looking at Des Moines, bystander detection range is 10.9 kilometers. If someone comes within that range, you get a 8% faster reload. So your DPM goes up even more. And if you start stacking that on top of Adrenaline Rush, for example, you're looking at some pretty crazy numbers with the DPM on this thing. And then I'd go for something like Survivability Expert that as well, just give me more HP to work around with. If you don't enjoy the traverse speed, I do find the turret traverse speed kind of slow on this thing. So reducing that a bit further is awesome. But if you like to say take consumables enhancement here, you can pick something like Incoming Fire Alert, and as soon as someone fires a shot at your ship from 4.5 kilometers, it'll turn like an orange or something and just say, hey, someone's just shot at you, literally just now, dodge. And that's awesome to have. So for example, if I look at my Colbert, for example, I actually take Incoming Fire Alert. And, should we play it? Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's play it. Getting by a couple of flags. Flags are not cheap, man. They're fucking expensive.